Hey there, it's Tracy from Dream Awake Healing with another reading from the Wholeness, Volume 1. This is Divine Mother's words that are so, so beautiful. I just knew I had to share them, and I get such pleasure from reading them. So this is the 8th reading, and it's called The Mind's Reality and My Reality. Deeper and deeper into silence. In this silence, we are just exploring reality here. In reality, there are no ailments. There is no poor health. There is no lack in any way. This is the reality, and this is why we are exploring. Your reality, day to day, moment to moment, may differ from my reality. The difference is, one is based on the mind's perspective. It's a limited perspective. So if we see or feel any lacking at all in the self or in another, that is fine. That is the reality, the mind's reality, right now. But as you know, my reality can be yours also. Divine reality understands everything to be perfect as it is. This is why I embrace everything. If there is misery in the experience, that is fine. That is the reality in this moment. But only the mind can create misery. It is very gifted. So when we shift from reality of the mind to the reality of my reality, everything is seen in its wholeness. Everything is already whole. We are just seeing it for what it is. So when we take this time in wholeness, we are suggesting to the mind that it does not always do the best job at running the show. It's not sufficient. It thinks it is, and it tries very hard. How commendable. Here's the question. Why put so much trust and energy into such a small part of the self? The self is so much greater than the mind. It is so great. It does not need to call for attention. Typically, the mind does that, and it gets all of the attention. Because the mind itself is so limited in its function, we cannot expect it to deliver a full view of my reality. It is when the self begins to embrace its divine identity that the very beautiful structure of creation reveals itself. My creation is so wonderful. I want you to play in it. The devas and the angels and many more, they are already playing with you. It's much more enjoyable to play with them too. No attention needs to be put on this, but when we embrace our divine identity, the full spectrum of my reality is revealed. The mind blocks perception of this vast reality. It only allows for the senses to offer much input. When my reality is embraced, the mind still functions, yes, but not with the same power as before. It no longer blocks finer perception. So when we embrace our divine self, When we give permission to the divine self to run the show, we are not leaving the mind behind. We are just putting it in its rightful place as a useful tool, not the only tool. Humanity has been engaged in this age of the mind, and it's been good. But for humanity, these times are changing. Of course, the mind survives, but in the new age, it is understood as one of many tools of the divine self. One of many tools. The good thing is, none of these concepts are revolutionary. They are natural and intuitive. The embracing of the divine identity is inevitable. So we are very gently, very sweetly, very lovingly settle into our own silence and play with God. And playing with God just means being with God. And being with God just means being. And when we are being, who we are being, who are we being with? Just the self. It's perfect. It's self-referral. Nothing is needed to end our suffering but the divine self, you and me. So let's be together. I think she has a great sense of humor sometimes, the way she puts things, the phrases that she uses. But I'll tell you what, embracing the divine identity is such a huge answer to so many things. We are divine. We are already divine. We don't have to chase it. We don't have to look for it. We don't have to seek it out. We just have to be it. I love you, and I'll see you next time.